Alright, you guys, today we're going to talk about midpoint, but in this particular situation, we're going to talk about finding the endpoint when the midpoint is given. So, right now we have endpoint 5 and 0 and negative 5 and 0. And of course, we know that we're 5 units to the origin coming from the right, and we're 5 units to the origin coming from the left. So we know our midpoint is going to be 0, 0. Okay, but what we're going to do, we're going to actually find the endpoint when just the midpoint and one endpoint is given. Okay, for example, let's take a look at another graph. Okay, we have a graph here where our endpoint is 5 and negative 5, and our midpoint is given, which is 2 and negative 1. In order to find the other endpoint, you're going to take what's given and then work backwards. Okay, take what's given and then work backwards. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, in order to find the midpoint, you typically have to divide using the formula. For example, here's our formula. M, which is our midpoint, is equal to x1 plus x2 divided by 2. Y is equal, y1 plus y2 divided by 2 gives us the other coordinate. Okay, we had to divide in this situation. But now, since we have our midpoint, which is given, which is 2 and negative 1, and our other endpoint, which is 5 and negative 5, you're going to take what's given and work backwards. Okay, I plugged in our 5 here from x1, which is located here. Okay, x2, which is unknown, divided by 2. Okay, same situation. On the y, we have our negative 5 here for y1. y2, we don't know yet, is divided by 2. Now, to find the midpoint, we have to divide by 2. But in order to find the endpoint, we're going to multiply. So we're going to take our formula. You're going to multiply 2 times the 2 and give us 4. Then ask yourself the question, 5 plus what number will give us 4? Well, in this case, negative 1. 5 minus 1 will give us 4. So our x-coordinate on the endpoint is going to be a negative 1. And you're going to do the same exact thing for the y. So remember, negative 5 was given plus y2, which is unknown, and you're going to take your 2 and multiply times your midpoint y section, which is negative 1. 2 times negative 1 gives us negative 2. Then ask yourself the question, 5 plus what number gives us a negative 2? And of course, that's going to be 3. Negative 5 plus a positive 3 will give us a negative 2. Okay, so now, let's look at our original graph, and we're going to take what's given and then work backwards. Last go around. Okay, we already know what our midpoint and our endpoint is on this side. We already know what this one is, but let's just try to calculate it. Okay, we're going to take what's given and work backwards. So now, here's our formula. Okay, you're going to have our midpoint, which is 0, 0, our x, which is 5, plus x2, which is unknown, divided by 2. Now remember, you're going to take 2 times 0 gives us 0. Then ask yourself the question, 5 plus what number will give us 0? Okay, same thing for the y. Okay, you got 0 for our y. Okay, remember 0, which is here, plus y2, actually, 0, which is here, plus y2. You're going to say 2 times 0 gives us 0. Then ask yourself the question, 0 plus what number will give you 0? Well, of course, 0 plus 0 gives you 0. And so finally, you'll notice that our x2 is a negative 5 and our y2 is 0. So remember, it's negative 5, comma, 0. That's how you find the endpoint when the midpoint is given.